I've been squeezed enough.
There we go. All right. We are rolling. We are here. Kim is drinking a beverage.
With ice, so it's noisy.
With what?
With ice, so it's nice and noisy.
Nice, yeah.
Yes,
plenty noisy.
Put it down.
You've got your water now, which is a callback to the original episode of this season. Well, when they tried to get water for that crazy race of people, which we never saw again.
Oh.
Which is some weird callback.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah. The one where Saru is running.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the very first episode where they throw the bomb down the well to make water.
Oh, right, because that's the callback to the
the callback that no one cared about.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. This is a podcast called I Just Want to Talk About Star Trek with Mike McCafferty, and yet I'm almost always joined by
Kim Miller,
otherwise known as
the Doctor,
and
Jason McCarris, back from Pizza Heaven. Vortavor, Shakari, Eden,
Shakey's
Pizza,
Shakery.
And we are here tonight, to talk to you about the greatest season 1 finale that has ever been seen on television on Sunday night. I hope you got a chance to catch it as I did, and I was so excited because it stuck the landing like I did not believe a show could. I'm talking, of course, about Hot Streets. Yes, well played, Mike McCafferty.
I thought you were going to say CBS's Bull.
No. It's person of interest.
That's been off the air for like 2 seasons.
Still a good first season. Yeah, they still nailed the finale.
You're right, stuck the landing.
No, I got a chance to watch Hot Streets season finale and Discovery season finale, and I have my strong opinions about both of them. One is positive, one is not so positive. And you may share these with me, but if you have a chance, go watch Hot Streets. I write on it. I act on it. Jason acts on it. Kim does not act on it because we don't like her.
Keep her at bay in her cage in San Diego.
Begin your letter writing campaign. I want to be Chubby's female girlfriend. Female dog girlfriend.
Yes.
You could be, yeah. You could be Lady Brownbone. She's one of
Oh, he has a girlfriend.
well, that's his aunt or something like that, I think. So
Lady
one of his relatives.
To be confused with Spaghetti Fettuccine.
Spaghetti Fettuccine, Tummy Rumbles, Lady Brownbone, Dusty Barkwood.
Dusty Barkwood, right.
And I can't remember the other guy. Jack? Anyway, no, actually tonight we thought we'd shake things up, and talk about Star Trek Discovery. The finale of Star Trek Discovery for first season. We're finally through it. 15 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. And I'm so excited to finally be through the woods on this.
I thought you were going to say so excited that we actually had the Discovery. Because the entire series is called Discovery, but the Discovery was about Klingon anatomy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Is that the Discovery? Is that what we found out?
I think that's what the series is about, right?
Remember when JD talked about blue dicks? Well,
blue faces and 3 dicks. He was close.
Blue faces and
3 dicks, but he was very close. There's
Actually, what we didn't understand, he wasn't saying blue faces and 3 dicks. He was saying 2 dicks. But anyway, so here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about Discovery. We're going to talk a lot about Discovery. And figure out what that show was, and figure out where they're going to go from here, and figure out where we're going to go from here, because it was a lot. It was a draining season for me.
If you hear something in the background, it's just Star Trek II playing on a projector.
Yeah, I was trying to play this on the projector. No, I have this digital projector here. I can beam it on Jason's face.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can. It's actually somewhat appropriate that we play Star Trek 2, since there was a little callback to that, which is, I don't know if you noticed that, Kim. Well, I put that out there. So the SETI Alpha Eels.
Oh yes, Star Trek 2. Oh.
Yeah, because they go in the
Rapid Con.
You might be familiar with this film,
Have
Doctor.
you seen this film, Kim? It's pretty good. It's really pretty good.
I was thinking of the conspiracy episode with the little "We seek peaceful coexistence" creature.
Oh yeah, no. Those are SETI Alpha Eels there.
The reference to on Kronos or Quonos, or how do you pronounce it?
I say Kronos.
Kronos, yeah. Well, they're saying Kronos, but when you look at the spelling, there's no R.
Q QO apostrophe.
Yeah, QO. Yeah.
Because it's it's Klingon.
Add it to
Anyways,
the
and so
list.
let's add it to the list of things that we have problems with.
Only pronounced Rodos.
All right, so, and by the way, if you are listening to this for the first time, thank you for joining us. Don't be afraid by the fact that we are besmirching Star Trek Discovery. I love Star Trek. I love all things Star Trek when they are Star Trek. I have problems when things say they're Star Trek and they're not necessarily Star Trek. See, I got off track there, but check it out, because as soon as we're done with this episode, we're going to go back to the good stuff. My son just watched the series finale of TNG All Good Things tonight. He was so happy about that. He started watching Deep Space Nine. Started to watch. I tried to get him to watch Where No Man's Gone Before, and he halfway through he said, "Oh, this girl's calling. I got to talk to her for like 5 minutes, Dad." I'm like, "Okay." 35 minutes later, he comes back. It's bedtime. It's like, "Oh, well, all right." Gary Mitchell's getting evil, but whatever.
Girls, Gary Mitchell.
Gary Mitchell.
I don't see the problem there.
There's only one Gary Mitchell. There's the billions of girls. There is only one, Gary Lockwood, isn't that his name? I can't remember if that's Gary Lockwood.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, yeah, Gary Lockwood, who I met. Nice guy. He was trying to sell. What's that?
He's a regular at the conventions, isn't he?
Yes, and I saw him at the Las Vegas convention, and he had a not full size, but like a 2 foot tall action figure of him from 2001: A Space Odyssey. That he was like, I don't know, like, well, you could buy this for $110. Like, I will not, though. So maybe we'll catch up with him, talking about his time on that someday. But anyway, so
if you buy that doll.
If I buy that doll. So, Kim, tell us what you thought about this episode of Star Trek called
Will You Take My Hand?
Will You Take
She's
My
finally
Hand?
prepared when you ask that, because she knows you
I know.
try and get every
she's the only person who I reliably knows this. I forget. I don't. So, Kim, what did you think?
I liked most of it, but then...
And there we are.
Every episode, when you ask one of us what we think, there's a long, deep sigh.
All right, go ahead, Kim.
Just so much. I can go along with large parts of it, but then when they have, like, huge plot points that are just completely absurd, like how L'Rell took control of the Klingons, it's just like, it kind of spoils the whole thing. But...
Yeah.
When I watched it the second time, and I appreciated little bits here and there. I'm trying not to get too upset. I'm trying not to obsess over. That's not Star Trek.
But Clint Howard was in it.
I kind of like that. Such a goofball.
Yeah.
Like, how many opportunities are we going to have original series guest stars appear?
This is true.
Ones that were children at the time.
At least one more season.
Yeah, with Clint, I mean, he's been in like what 4 series now. I mean,
yeah.
Jason.
And there we have it.
Was that it? Are you done?
Yeah. I'm for now. Yeah.
And strongly with the Clint Howard comment and and Clint Howard. All right, Jason, what did you think?
I've changed my mind about Tilly completely. She's great. Even when she's high in an opium den prostitute joint. I don't know what's going on anymore.
But that's fun. Oh, our favorite characters are getting high. Which does what? All right, anyway, so is that it?
I just feel like there were so many cool ideas.
I know. Good job, Kim. Good job, Jason.
There were great ideas, I think, that were kind of laid out throughout the episode, and every time one of them would pop up, you're like, oh, that's really cool. They immediately shit on it. I felt like every single time I was excited about something else happened, and you're like, oh, they just wrapped this, possible piece of gold in dung.
I didn't think they even shit upon it. I just think they just moved away from it, and it's like, as we talk about like the Chekhov's gun or the Chekhov's tribble, like right. Nothing was followed through. Like someone pointed out, I mean, like you have this crazy Klingon game, you have the Orions, right. You have all these ideas which never get carried through in this episode. But yeah, so Yeah, so is that? I agree with all that.
I mean, I like the fact that he spoke Klingon and remembered all that, and they're entertained by it, and then immediately, it delves into his gambling stuff, but not just that, but there was something else. What happened after that? Where there was something that and the stupid Bolin knot, which became like a whole thing.
Oh yeah. Which like. This episode, he's a fisherman,
Yeah.
Ever since I was a child, I went out fishing and I tied these certain knots. Like, where is this coming from? Hey, you guys had 15 episodes to figure this out. Don't pull out this metaphor now. We don't need that.
Fishing.
We do?
Yeah.
When?
When they were on the Pavo planet, and he was talking about grilling trout and how he couldn't wait to get home and do that stuff.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, all right, I'll give him, I guess, a pass on that because it's just like
that
I still
bothered you the most in this whole episode. Jeez.
No, but it was like again like this thing where it's like he's tying these knots. I'm like, I have not seen this. I have not seen this, and it just like it's this like we're dropping this giant metaphor in because before like it was like tether, I guess, but it just. So overall, as with a lot of people who watch, I checked on Reddit, and people were overall very disappointed with this episode, which made me feel good because, like, up until this point, it's like, am I completely insane? Is this a good series, and I'm just like an insane person now? Am I in the mirror universe? We've talked about this, but people were like, wait a minute, you can't solve a Klingon war in 2 episodes. You can't solve it with like a terrorist bomb threat. I mean. It didn't make any sense. So it like the whole episode, as Jason pointed out, as you pointed out, it was just wrapping up stuff so rapidly and so incoherently, and then trying to tie it off with this strange bow of, hey, look at all the good things we've done. I'm Michael Burnham. I'm going to get my command back. I'm a commander again because I gave a Klingon a bomb, I guess, and I mean, Stamets gets a medal. Everyone gets a medal. Saru gets nothing. Yeah. Mirror Universe Giorgio gets to escape. Like everyone gets in it except poor Saru. Well, he got a Medal of Honor, but he doesn't even get to be captain. Like I don't want to go like straight to that, but he was the most Starfleet of Starfleet. He upheld the tenets of Starfleet. Like Michael Burns, like we have to boldly go after this. Hey, how about not mutiny? How about like with one captain, not mutiny? Because you did it with all of them. I mean, like every single one of them you betrayed in some way. And like, oh, we have to be better. You have to be better. It starts with you. Meanwhile, poor Saru, who went from like this meek, like feeble guy who was like a computer, am I a good captain, to being like...
being very tough, as Giorgio pointed out.
Yeah.
Tough meat.
Yeah, very tough. Like he's tough meat to being like a good captain.
But that's what I was kind of complaining about, is that I thought that was kind of clever and funny, the way she was, using the double entendre and everything about, him on her in the mirror universe. He is meat and everything. And then they have Burnham kind of do the same thing to her, which was just garbage, and like trying to out her in front of the crew.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like what is that?
Yeah.
Like, do we not? I mean, that's so confusing. Does the rest of the crew not know?
Exactly. And you're just like, wait a minute. Oh, so there were a lot of wait a minute moments in this episode.
There was a lot of wait moments. The point I was trying to make was that everyone seemed to be rewarded, and at the end of the episode, it's like, oh, we need a new captain for the Discovery because Saru did everything he was supposed to do. He rose to the occasion, and now we're gonna like replace him with like a human or a Vulcan. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess that's okay. And then everything, the entire season was invalidated in the very last shot. But we'll get to that. We will get to that.
Kim, what about Sarek pointing out, like, oh, and by the way, didn't you realize that, you were so upset about Klingons killing your parents that you fell in love with one?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, well, that's something we didn't see coming a mile away.
Thanks, Dad. Jesus, what?
How ironic you fell in love.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, Jesus. You're a bad dad, actually, now I think about it. It's like you've learned nothing from Mom, and that's why Mom's in Paris, and she's going to stay in Paris. Or no, she leaves. Like who stay? Like one of them stays. So. All right.
She stays on the planet as it blows up in the.
Oh, that's right.
In the Kelvin universe.
Yeah, she's going to blow up pretty soon. So, and the Vasquez rocks. All right. So Kim, start us out. Where do we start off here?
Oh, well, flying through space as we see the Klingons' point of view as we're approaching Earth. Target acquired, whatever, out by Jupiter.
So, yeah, they're like, so what's going on here? Tell me what's going on here. They have reached Jupiter.
Right. Well, because they're trying to rendezvous, trying to protect Earth, right?
System.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't see any opposition there. First of all, like there's just like, didn't they already get to Earth? They already got to Earth. They're like the house dogma. What was it? The house.
One of your listeners pointed out that we were way off on that last week when he said that we were, and then I watched that episode again. I'm like, oh yes, they're actually 100 AUs from Earth is where that starbase is, but it totally looks like Earth. It's a little mistake.
No, it does look like Earth because someone actually took a picture, a screen cap of that, and found like Nova Scotia. So like unless there's like
we must attack Nova Scotia.
Like unless there's a planet 100 astronomical units away from us, it looks just like planet Nova Scotia. I mean, I appreciate our friend
Nova Scotia. It's fantastic.
And even if it's just 100, first of all, an astronomical unit, if you don't know, is the distance between Earth and the Sun. So it's 100, which actually isn't that much. If it's 93, it's 93 million, 93 billion miles away, or I can't do that.
Farther than Elon Musk's Tesla, though.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it might be still within the solar system, but so there's no Earth-like planet there. So I don't quite understand that. And so if you are on Twitter and you want to tweet me at Mike McCaffrey or at Flibadip for Kim or at Jason McCarras and enlighten us on that, I would like to hear that.
Oh, he did on your Facebook.
Oh, maybe it was Facebook. We also have a Facebook page. I just want to talk about Star Trek on Facebook.
Yep.
And that's where we have more lively discussions. If you go to the YouTube page on this, we don't have as many lively discussions.
Unless you're on the I just want to talk about Star Trek Slack chat.
Yeah, we have a very, very
lively Slack chat.
No, we don't do Slack, yeah.
Just being a wise guy.
Yeah.
Flying through space, approaching Earth, and then the pass on. I have like three thoughts going through my head at once. But then we're suddenly reviewing Kronos. And discovery's on the way there.
Yeah, so we have the opposing forces going to each planet. Now, the Discovery is on this covert mission. I guess flying, I mean, like they're not cloaked, but they're just kind of flying there, and everyone seems to be okay with that.
Dark, my favorite way to fly.
Is that what she says? They're flying dark?
Or running dark, my favorite way to run.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Another version of cloaked? I don't understand that, but I need to go back there and just say all these Klingon ships are at Jupiter, and why are they not attacking? I don't understand. Are they attacking Jupiter? Do they not know where Earth is? I mean,
they're on their way.
But like, they're going a little slow, right? All right. I mean, I get the ticking clock,
they could
but
work there in a few seconds.
Yeah, they can get there in like 3 seconds, and like they're slowly advancing. All right, so Emperor Giorgio is now Captain Giorgio in our universe, and everyone's okay with that.
And as far as the rest of the crew knows, she's the original.
Yes.
Right.
How does that work?
So does Starfleet think she's the original too? No, because the Admiral knows she's not.
They all know she's not, but for some reason the Discovery crew seems to accept her as the captain.
Right. Mm-hmm. Without any explanation.
Right.
Which was, I wasn't here when you guys discussed it last week, but the ending was so dumb, where they just kind of trot her out, and here she is, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Giorgio, and everybody's like, what?
Comes slinking out.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to make any sort of, announcement about it beforehand. We're just going to surprise you with her on the bridge. Here she is.
Yeah.
Now we're going someplace.
So please make no connection to the fact we were just in the Mirror Universe where they were evil Empress Giorgio. You have not seen good Captain Giorgio for a good 6 months, and now here she is, and she's acting like a total bitch, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So she goes out barking orders, and just like in Mirror Universe fashion, just laying in everybody. Like there's no subterfuge in the Mirror Universe. Everyone's just a total asshole. They're just like, haha, I'm going to eat you, and I hit you, and shut up, and like, how does anything occur in that Mirror Universe? How does anything get done?
Are you ready for the Saru quotes?
All right,
she says, Scared Kelpian makes for tough Kelpian.
Yes, yeah, we talked about the toughness,
right.
yeah.
And so he says he's so tough he's simply unpalatable.
Yes.
And then Burnham Burnham refers to her first-hand experience with Kelpian tenderness, but here's the one that killed me. I can tell you require seasoning.
Jesus, am I like a vampire now?
That was
What's that?
Laurel talking to Giorgio.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, you're right, yeah.
Talking to who?
Giorgio.
Giorgio in the brig later on.
Right, because she, didn't she beat Laurel within an inch of her life? And
Oh, yeah.
Well, Klingons eat humans,
Yeah.
so, I mean, and she, didn't she help eat Giorgio? So, I mean,
Yes.
so Giorgio eats Saru, like Mirror Universe Saru,
Right.
and Laurel eats Prime Universe Giorgio. So this is just a big
That's a
cannibal
good
show.
point.
Everybody's eating
yeah,
everybody.
she did mention
Everybody
that she was
eats
tasty,
little
yeah.
octopuses for lunch, I guess.
I guess so. Well, they're all inhaling, spores. So I mean, actually, we shouldn't have mushrooms in the replicator. We shouldn't be eating mushroom dinner. Stamets is
Right
not
off
happy.
the bat, Michael is, where are you from, Captain? Where exactly in Malaysia? Like,
Right.
why are you trying to out her? What are you hoping to have? You
Yeah.
found her and brought her here.
Yeah, why are
suddenly
you
working
suddenly
against
like Tom Hanks in The Post or something? It's like, aha, we got you. We know. I mean,
Just like Tom Hanks in The Post.
I haven't seen The Post, to be honest with you. I don't know what happens in it. I could have said
Family reference.
Yeah. Just like in the Iran-Contra affair.
Anyway,
right, so-
then we move on to the brig, and yes, Giorgio interviews Laurel and beats her up.
Beats her up because she's trying to find... What is she trying? What are we trying to do here? They're trying to find the secret caves. This is almost like a Dungeon and Dragon episode. We have to get to the secret
Chimney
caves.
is the best to reach on foot, so we can place
This is
our
like a-
charge.
Like a bad Santa Claus episode here. It's like, which chimney do I go down? Like, oh.
I remember last
on
week we
Santa
heard
Claus.
Laurel said that the war doesn't end. So this week,
Right.
the war ends when we crush you. Oh, really? Last week it didn't matter.
Right, yeah. It was just like, it will never end. It will end. Give me a bomb. I'll make it end, Yeah, it is completely nonsensical. At least we now know why that weird copper piping is around her body at all times. It's
Yes.
to, I guess, stun her or something. And I guess she just can't just take it off and walk around naked and be like, haha, can't stun me. It's like,
That's true.
seems like it's got a zipper in the back,
We have seen her naked already, so
Yeah, we don't need to see it. So Giorgio beats her with an inch of her life, and Michael Burnham allows just enough of it to say,
Yes.
that's enough. That's not what we do here in Starfleet. Oh,
We'll watch
hey.
it for a while.
We'll watch it for a while. Hey, we don't beat up our prisoners. We do beam people into outer space. But I will not allow you to beat up this prisoner. Just so you know.
we do space people.
Yes, and I did kill her commander earlier, but that's okay too. This is all good.
But Giorgio doesn't get any cooperation from her. She's just laughing. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
I've already lost.
Yeah, so we leave that scene.
And visit
go-
Tyler in his quarters, where he, interestingly, has a lot of pictures of himself decorating his quarters.
This is true. Yeah, when I like to have pictures of me everywhere, with no one else in the picture, right?
Here's
Picture
your
of you
fishing-
decorating.
Picture
me
of you
fishing.
decorating your quarters.
yeah.
This is me decorating me fishing.
It's a picture of me hanging a picture.
Ah!
And he's sitting there with a piece of cord.
Yes, doing his Chief Brody
Bowling
impression.
knot. Yeah.
Chief Brody.
It's true.
Rabbit goes around the hole, swims under the hole,
Swims under the hole.
swims under the hole, comes
Rabbits
out
do
of
a
the
lot
hole,
of swimming.
looks around, goes away.
That's why Mike's not
That's
fall
from Jaws.
apart.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's why I don't do not work, yes. Well, he's
Bowline.
tying this because...
Yeah, ties
Yes,
me to my past.
Right.
Get it?
Right.
Yeah, because that's what he's been doing the whole season. He's been doing this. It ties into his past. It's a metaphor which has been well established, and so we're very, very thankful for that. To see it one more time. No, we've never seen this before, but that's okay because in Discovery, every episode is completely new. It's sort of like Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's like where the plot lines don't matter, you know.
But not before we leave the scene do we get Tilly coming in, who's very excited to meet Captain Giorgio. and then realizing it's not Captain Georgiou for comedic effect.
Yes.
Right? Or somewhat comedic effect, or non-comedic effect.
Now, someone pointed out in the EW... what was the line? Like, this hair is horrible or something like that? Or the curls are
these
terrible?
are hideous, of course.
Yeah, these are hideous. These are hideous, of course.
Yeah,
that's a funny line. Yeah.
What the hell is she talking about?
Curls.
Yes, I know, but
these are hideous, of course. I mean, at least Georgiou is just like cutting through all the garbage, right? It's like, but then she straightens her hair. It's like so weird. It's like, this is a plot point we need to follow. Like that's something important that we need to arc through. Of like, oh, she listened to Empress Georgiou and straightened her hair. Okay,
but I enjoyed the references to the fun they had. Her and evil Captain Tilly. I refuse to call her that.
Right. Yeah.
Subjugating the Betazoids.
Yes,
Wiping
reference
out
drop.
Mintaka 3. Oh, I love that.
Now, what's a Mintaka? Is that that's
where
a
they thought
TNG?
the card was a god and all that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I was like, oh, I remember Mintaka. Yeah. Oh, I
Vasquez rocks.
remember Mintaka. What's that?
Vasquez rocks.
That's right. That's TNG Vasquez rocks. Is the Picard angry? So we have that little scene, which
They established the whole plan to use a drone to map the surface and identify targets. The ship can't hide in a cave system that's connected to the volcanoes they need or something, so they have to depend on black market surveys from Vulcans.
Oh my gosh, this just goes off the rails so quickly. So they can get to this weird destination they want to go to.
It's how they established that the Orions apparently have a thriving community on Kronos.
And you're like, what is this? This is. I'm sorry, this is such a crazy left turn. This is so like, okay, we're going to go to Kronos to meet the Klingons. We have not really figured out what the Klingon culture is, except like in these kind of speeches by Takuma or whatever his name is, and Vok and L'Rell. They tell us what it is. They haven't shown us anything since like episode 2. And so now we're finally going to the Klingon home planet. We're finally going to see what it's like there. We're going to go undercover. No, we're going to the Orion outpost. Why? Why are we going there? I want to see the Klingons.
Because the Orions have built embassies over these certain spots that they need to access.
They built embassies. What is this? Who thought this was a good idea?
Well, I guess if they didn't go to the outpost, I mean, I don't understand what the whole thing is on the planet, but I figured when they beam down to the planet, there's going to be all sorts of Klingons. Why would there be humans among them? I mean, wouldn't they just kill them?
Exactly.
Well, sure.
I think that was the point of bringing them to the outpost, so that they're not amongst a bunch of Klingons.
There were still Klingons there, though.
Yeah, but
there were still Klingons who'd be like, "Hey, there's a human right there. We're at war with them or not? I forget. We're at war with everybody,
that was
right?"
Very confusing.
That was very
But they spoke Klingon, so they were cool.
Yeah,
amusing.
Yeah, again, so I don't want to be like, I don't want to step in like I'm a writer, but I'm a writer, and I don't get this. Like, there has been precedent in the original series, in Next Generation, in Deep Space Nine, where humans disguise themselves as Romulans and as Klingons. You know, in the Enterprise incident, Kirk disguised himself as a Romulan. Got it. They also do that in Next Generation, in Deep Space Nine. They disguise themselves as Klingons. It's possible. So do
Spock
that.
Disguises himself as a human by wearing a hat.
This is true. You wear a hat. You're good.
You just cover the tops of your ears.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So if you're gonna go to Klingon, if you're gonna go Kronos, I mean, do something about that instead of concocting the strange thing where we have to go to see the Orions to get in for it. Was such a weird side quest, which if you wanted to take a whole episode to do before you got to the finale, I'm fine with. But if this is the finale of the season and we don't meet Klingons in their normal culture, I don't know what we're doing there. We're learning more about Orions than we are about Klingons.
But we got to see Tilly eat Gormagander meat.
Yeah, space whale. Yeah, and then she's like, blah, walk, walk.
My favorite part of the briefing room scene was that when Georgia says, "Go to your quarters, dress as lowlifes." And they all come out in these badass leather outfits. I'm like, they look awesome.
I know, they look great. Yeah. And why? Like, it's such a strange, like, okay, we're gonna take Vok, who is a guy who is going through like PTSD and the fact he was part Klingon, and he could probably turn in a half second, right? Because we're not sure exactly what L'Oreal did with him. We're gonna bring Tilly, who is not even an acting, like, she's not even like Starfleet yet. She's like a cadet. And like, I have a good feeling about you. You're gonna pilot the drone, okay? And then Burnham, who may or may not. It's the weirdest team they have, but sure, let's get everybody down. They dress in all black leather, so because.
Oh, side note, you know that Arium character, the Apple lady, as you call her.
Yes,
you
Apple product
every
lady.
time that she has a line, no matter how brief, they add that little sound effect of whoop.
Oh,
Every time.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, watch it again. It's very funny.
I did notice
Like,
that.
What is that noise supposed to be? Her like hydraulics moving around?
Like her voice box engages or something. Like, clicks in. I think we should fire the phaser. Like, why do you need to do that? There were more Saru clicks, I heard.
Yes.
They're all about it. Like the sound engineer's like, "Ooh, we gotta put more Saru clicks."
Yeah, when she made the tough Kelpian crack, he's like,
Yeah.
Becomes the Ugandan internet person,
his threat ganglia should be permanently out this whole episode.
The whole season.
Saru's threat ganglia needs to go into the shop.
Needs some work.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my, as my threat ganglia. And as someone pointed out, like in that article, people are making fun of his threat ganglia all the time. He's right. He's right all the time. Like, they're like, oh, hey, we should go check out that weird Klingon artifact. Like, my threat ganglia is going on. And like Captain George is like, oh, Saru, you're always so cautious about that stuff with good reason, But then it doesn't work with Lorca, who's like completely evil. So I don't know. Maybe they should make fun of it. I don't know. I threat ganglia is something they have not quite figured out yet.
Partially worked with Ash Tyler, right?
Never worked with Ash
He
Tyler.
came on the bridge
Yeah.
and one time it came out. Yeah.
Like one time.
The one time he was on the bridge, I think.
Yep.
But he was in contact with him many times, and like, he didn't pick up he was a Klingon. So
Right, yeah.
he didn't pick up that Lorca was like
Well,
from their universe.
neither did the Tribble, for all we know.
What's that?
The Tribble that was in Lorca's office.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, anyway, so moving on.
We jump to a cavern in Kronos.
Yep.
Stamets says, am I good or what? No, because you put us 9 months in the future, you bonehead. You all He's so proud of that.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, 90% of the Federation is gone, but I can, spore us into a cave. Good, I guess.
Spore us.
Spore us into a cave. And
All
spore.
he does.
Spaced and spored.
Very small part in this episode.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's like, I want out. He's like,
But we zoom through the green clouds of the atmosphere of Kronos.
yeah. Although there was, I guess, there was a little Twitter dust up when Anthony Rapp, who played Stamets, posted like, "I'm with the best. It's been great to work with the best cast of all time," or something like that. And then Marina's
Oh, God.
Sirtis came back and said call me in 30 years or something like that, And then he backtracks like, I mean, this cast is great and you're great. You don't mess with Auntie Troy there. She will snap you back hard.
But we beam down to the set of Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
To the food stall section of the Orion town.
What's that new show on Netflix?
Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
That is so Blade Runner-y. It's like, oh my god. I watched the first episode. It's fine. I mean, it's like I was gonna maybe not. It's like, I'll watch another one, I guess. Have you watched it?
It's terrible. I haven't watched it yet. No. I'm just going with what Mike was gonna say. It's terrible.
Well,
I started with episode 4.
I might as well. It's fine. Here's a series where I don't have anything invested, so I can watch it kind of with a degree of impunity and go that was dumb, that was
Right.
fine. Like this, I have to track heavily because it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. No, why is that there? No, why are the Klingons doing that? Why do the Klingons have 2 dicks? Like when Worf was with Troy, and they're having a relationship. Was there ever a point in time where he's like, Deanna, I must tell you something very important. What is it? What is it, Worf? It is about my anatomy. Yes, Worf? I have two of everything. What do you mean, Worf? I sense tension in you. Perhaps I should show you.
Maybe.
Oh my God!
2 openings, like a flute, like a fucking flute.
Like a flute. Oh my God!
We don't know. We didn't see.
Well, I saw that. I had to look at a couple. I watched that a lot. It's not my thing. But I watched it because I was so fascinated by the fact that they put in this weird joke. It's 2 dicks. I mean, so a lot of the Hot Streets writers got together and we had a chat about this.
Yeah.
And there was many discussions about it. Perhaps it was like a forked tongue kind of thing, or like a 2-headed snake, where like at the last minute it kind of separates.
At the last minute.
Yeah, well, at the last minute there's 2 of them.
When you start to pee, it just goes.
No, it's just like it's like a regular penis, and then like with like an inch left, it's like ta-da! There's like 2 of them, and then you got like 2 strings.
Was that only when aroused or something?
No, it's always there. It's always there. But like Brian thinks it's one large member with like 2 holes. I'm sorry if this is graphic. I apologize. Listen to Trek FM if you want really
a flute.
A flute.
I think there's 2 of them because the way he was holding it, because he had his hand with like his 2 middle fingers kind of separating in between to kind of like position.
See that? I didn't look that closely.
I did.
This warrants a second viewing.
Xenoanthropologist.
And the streams were distinctively separated by like a good 3. So, like, I'm sorry. I apologize if you're not into this sort of stuff. But let me just tell you something.
And why wouldn't you be?
Sometimes when guys pee, I'm just going to tell you this, and maybe sometimes there's 2 streams. Sometimes there just is, and it's baffling to us as well. But it's from the source. All right. It's like if you put.
It's an artesian well.
And sometimes it just like flies out, and then usually it self-corrects, and you're okay. But this was not that. This was 2 distinct streams from 2 distinct sources. So,
all right.
If
2 of everything.
Yeah. Now the unsubscribe button is on all Apple Podcasts. You can do it if you want. This is our way out. But I apologize for that.
But in addition to the... Okay, go on.
I'm just going to say, if they're going to show this, we're going to talk about it. And like Trek FM, and they'll be like, oh, and did you see the thing? Yeah. Whoa, that's interesting information. You're going to get like role play from us here with Deanna. And I'm like Deanna.
Yeah.
Like you get the whole 9 yards.
Not those jackasses at Trek FM.
No, the sons of bitches. Yeah. All right, Kim, please take us away. Take us to another place.
Well, in addition to the being Klingon, we see a sleeping Klingon doing his Three Stooges snoring. Did you notice that? Only thing missing was a little feather flying. But, not a lot of humans around here except the dregs of our race. Again, I was immediately confused how they could just beam down. No disguises. Nobody bothers them.
With this strange thick atmosphere, which they can't scan, but humans can evidently beam down and breathe the atmosphere. I mean, like, that's okay. It's this really, really thick atmosphere. We can't scan. I mean, what is there, like, metal in the atmosphere? Like, what is in it that you can't scan? Because you can scan through a star, but you can't scan through this atmosphere, but we can breathe it, and everyone's okay. And humans come down here. If there are the dregs of humanity here, why are the Klingons not like, oh, we should not be okay with these guys because maybe they're going to try and blow up our volcanoes?
Are they only fighting the Federation? Are the houses separate from like the regular riffraff that lives on the streets? Are they the elite of Klingons? I have many questions.
Yeah, there were many questions about all this. So anyway. So we're here on this Orion world. Where are you going, Jason?
Sorry, I was checking. Your computer's not plugged in. So.
Oh, am I right?
How did you like seeing the little conspiracy creatures in the frying pan? It just annoyed me, and I'm trying to figure out why did it annoy me. It didn't annoy me. I don't know.
Oh, are those conspiracy creatures? I thought those were the Ceti Alpha eels.
Oh, I thought they were the conspiracy, little pink things. Maybe they were the Ceti Alpha.
I think the Ceti Alpha eels. That's my feeling was. Like they look, I mean, so first of all, the conspiracy creatures and the Ceti Alpha eels look very, very similar. From Star Trek 2, Ceti Alpha. What's that?
Have those pinchers.
Yeah, they both have little pinchers, but I think because I was looking at the Ceti Alpha eels have those kind of gray carapace on their backs, where they're yeah. So I think that was
The other ones are like bright pink.
I guess yeah. And then the conspiracy creatures are there, and then I'm not sure about this, but it seems almost like the creature in the middle looked like a Nemo, like a Finding Nemo fish.
You know, it blinked.
Oh, did it blink?
Yes.
Oh God, so it was still alive, being cooked.
Yep.
So there was all sorts of little wacky Easter eggs on that.
Yeah.
I was like 5% okay with that. That was like that was
5%.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
98% okay for regular people.
Yeah.
For the casual viewer.
The casual viewer was like, oh, there's something in that pot that I don't care about. But I was like, oh, well, all right. I guess I can be okay with that. So.
It would have been funny if they'd been eating the little puppet creatures from the end of Cat's Paw.
Oh, yeah. Those Although those creatures were from another galaxy, so to catch those guys would be kind of tricky.
Oh, you can't put anything past you. Anyway, a female Orion soldier. Keep walking, Federation. Nobody wants you here. Huh? What do you care?
And so she calls them out in Federation. So she their disguise is already blown. She says Federation? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, keep walking, Federation.
The worst disguises. Yeah.
With your cool black leather outfits, I still know Federation. But then Killy threatens her. I'm just going to call her Killy. I don't care anymore.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Let's just embrace it.
Blonde, straight-haired Tilly threatens her. Why is she acting as their security when they have Tyler with them? She's the one who does all the detailed weapons descriptions. Oh, Nausicaan pistols, blah, blah, blah. And with the
Tyler's like
polyalloy, blah. He's just silently handing them over. Like, why are you there?
Here's a gun. Here's another gun, and like somehow Tilly knows all this stuff. Yeah, even though she's also very well versed with like mushrooms too. She's
very comfortable with a badass speech when before she could barely say "What the hell, heck, hell."
Yeah,
I'm gonna blow your nose to the back of your head or something. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, okay. Tilly again. If I say now, is she a Mary Sue? Does she fit that description of a character who falls into these situations and is instantly adept at everything? Because I mean, she does know about Spore Drive.
Sounds like, yes, absolutely.
She can cosplay with the best of them as Captain Killy, and she can go on Orion and know everything about weapons.
Is she adept at it, or does she just stumble onto these things and just kind of just stumble into good luck?
I mean, maybe
she's more of a Jar Jar Binks.
Well, maybe
she's a scientist who happens to be good at away teams, and
yeah, I mean, it didn't bother me that much. Obviously, I'm just kind of postulating that she my Tilly irritation was pretty low for this episode. I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, I mean, if she's there for comic relief and she to me is like in second or third place as far as likable characters, because at least like
really. Throw this table over.
He's secretly attracted to her.
Oh, not secretly. No, I am attracted.
There's no secret about it.
He is loud and proud.
I have a little bit of a Tilly crush, and maybe that's affecting me. I don't know.
I did not know this.
I mean, she's the only other person who seems to be having. Here's the thing too. Here's a big thing about Star Trek Discovery is that, like, let's count all the times they've had fun and all the people who have fun. Like zero, almost all the time. No one has fun on this show. Everyone's so damn serious.
Giorgio has a lot of fun at that whorehouse coming up.
Yeah, she does, and she has fun like dressing down everybody. What's that, Kim?
They had their party and they're listening to "Staying Alive."
Oh yeah, they're listening to all that disco stuff for disco.
Yeah. Well, that was, but like, was it? Like there's no times when there's like lightheartedness where it's like, oh, here's, we have to do this all the time. I mean, maybe when they're jogging, but like I liked it when Kirk is just kind of like walking the halls and like having fun with Spock and McCoy, or Riker's like saying something fun to Worf and Troy, or Brian's goofing around
exactly the kind of stuff that was completely just glossed over and straight to this hardcore story stuff.
Where we get like here's a day in the life of living in the 23rd century. Like we don't get that. Where we get it's like this is fun. This is actually cool stuff every once in a while. Instead it's like, oh my God, we're in a mirror universe with I mean it's just like it's so.
I think that obviously was a conscious choice to not do the traditional format of self-contained episodes and slowly learning about people and then halfway through the season imposing some major storyline. So you're just worried that people aren't going to be interested, and not do the traditional Star Trek series format.
I guess so. I mean, I guess they wanted to. I mean, obviously they went through so many different iterations of what they wanted to do. With the firing of Brian Fuller, who can't seem to hold on to a job. I mean, that guy bounces everywhere. He left this, quote unquote. He left American Gods, quote unquote, and now he's left Amazing Stories, quote unquote. So it's like I don't think the problem's them anymore. I think the problem's you, Brian. I mean,
I don't get it.
Where what do you want to do, man? I mean, we gave you everything, dude. So there's something going on there, but. After that, then is it the Klingon War? Is it the Mirror Universe? Is it episodic?
All of it.
It's just do everything, and then Spore Drive and tardigrades and
Clint Howard.
And Clint Howard. Now that's okay. I'm okay with Clint Howard. Are we there yet? Do we get to Clint Howard?
Almost.
We see Tilly eat her Gormigander, and little treat for the fans. I'm not here for bread and circuses. On second thought, the circus is where we'll start.
Yes, and a nice. I don't know if there was an intentional not, but Bread and Circuses, an episode of Star Trek, the original series, second season.
It must have been.
It's got to be intentional.
Yeah.
So that was the Klingon strip club.
They go to the Klingon Orion strip club. But see again, like we're tracking Orions now. Like, why do we care about Orions? Who cares? I mean,
because it's a Star Trek thing that people want to see the green ladies and dancing around.
Yeah, and they weren't even that green,
right?
No, they weren't even that green. They were a very light shade of green.
They were dusted green.
Yes, it's. Yeah, it was a very kind of like it's like maybe the atmosphere like kind of tarnished their skin or something.
It's just. Pollution landed on their face. I knew your whole universe couldn't be boring. She watches these three people just look like they're playing Twister. They're all kind of like writhing around in a pile. It really isn't that sexy to me.
Intergalactic Twister.
Orion Twister.
Money. Says we should split up, go buy some information, and find that shrine. How much for a little me time? Like, me time? What is this, 2017?
I know, yeah. It's not you, it's me time. Yeah. So they have to go, I mean, like, they have to root around to find this shrine. There's, like, no Wikipedia here and Kronos. There's, like, people just, like, stumble around, like, where's the shrine? Where's the shrine? Where's the spaceport? Where's the bathroom? It's like...
Where's the bathroom?
Vic Tayback looking for the bathroom.
They all talk like,
where's the
bathroom? But if we're going to say fuck on the show, why don't we show nudity? Why not? Why not show a sex scene?
Well, I mean,
we've seen Klingon sex scenes and we've seen nudities. Well, Klingon nudity.
Yeah, we saw Klingon nudity. So I guess like prosthetic boobs are okay, but like,
hey, why are we not seeing the double dicks?
Well, I mean, we saw the output from it. I mean,
flute.
I don't know if it's a flute. I think
it's a flute.
Two holes.
I think it's
two-headed snake.
Parallel bars. To go through a gymnastics thing. It's just, I mean, the streams were in no way crossing or intersecting.
But we have Ash joining a Klingon game, where we hear him speak in his Klingon voice again.
Yes. Which we don't ever really... This game would just, like, introduce and then don't really use to any sort of advantage. And does he win it?
Crap. No, he doesn't win. He comes back later and says, I didn't find out anything.
Yes, like again, like as Jason was talking about, like,
great setup, like, he's gonna get him out of the situation or something like that, and all of a sudden he comes back, it was a bust.
Yeah, nothing happened from that.
It's fun to see him speak Klingon without his Klingon makeup. I thought that was cool. Uh-oh.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
Whenever Mike pinches his lips together, you're like, all right.
I can't. Well, that was a fun scene. Well, that's good. I mean, this just becomes like some weird travel guide. I mean, it's like, and over here is the
moments in it.
No. There are no. I mean, you can't. Why are we wasting real estate on that? Why is that not? Why is it? I mean, it doesn't pay off. There's nothing. There's no reason to have that scene. I'm sorry.
But I did like the idea of he still has the memories. I'm just speaking on the microphone here. But I do like the idea that he still has the memories from the Klingon and everything. Remembers that he had remembers the game, remembers the language, so he should be able to infiltrate. And then, of course, it's worth nothing.
What a great thing! Like,
it works later on.
How so?
When he joins those two guys that are drinking, he gets information from them.
Oh, right. Well,
but like the
payoff is not great.
The payoff is tiny because Giorgio finds it anyways. Like everyone finds it. Everyone like stumbles on weird little pieces of clues to this. But I mean, like here's the bigger thing that I was missing. Like, okay, so Voq is tapping into, or Tyler, he's like, oh, it's like he's there, but he's kind of not there. Like, oh, so this Klingon is still there, and now you're going into this Klingon homeworld where you're going to get all of this. If you have PTSD and you're going to a battle zone, it's gonna come up. And he's playing these games, and he's seeing all these Klingons, and nothing came of it. No, like Voq should come back. That should be a huge, cool thing. Cool. Wouldn't it be cool? It's like, I am Voq and I am back. And like, why weren't we doing that? Why was like, oh yeah, because they wanted to preserve this love story with Burnham for no reason. It would have been even more powerful if he comes back as Voq and she has to kill him or say goodbye to him, or like
she
Tyler's
can't kill
dead.
him because he's liked on the show and they have to do another season, so they can't kill him off.
Well, see, that's a problem then. If you're saving characters because the audience quote unquote likes them, then the show's already done.
Yeah.
Then you're making a YouTube show where it's like, hey guys, tell me what you want to see next.
I hate to tell you, that's kind of what this is a little bit.
Well, then it's a failure. The show is a failure by that metric, because it is no longer a show about creatively telling a story. It's a show about appeasing fans as you read through Reddit or whatever.
But that's exactly the show you're kind of looking for, in a sense, because you're looking to be appeased for what you liked before, as opposed to something that's new but shitty.
Well, but I mean, but the people like Gene Roddenberry and those guys. I mean, yes, like, and I will contend that in third season of the original series, when they started to go more and more to like doing Spock episodes and having him show feelings and singing songs,
right?
When you start appeasing the fan base, your stories are done. Like, we're talking a little bit about this with Game of Thrones, is that like, Braun, who is Jamie's friend, he's not going to die because everyone loves him. He's so funny. And who is it? The tall girl, the bodyguard.
Sansa?
Brienne of Tarth.
Brienne of Tarth.
L'Oreal.
Yeah. Brienne of L'Oreal, yeah.
L'Oreal.
She's not going to die because the audience loves her. And if that's the case, then the show's already gone.
Well, that's the instant thing I was thinking of as Game of Thrones, because they kill off every character that you love. It doesn't matter who.
Well, they used to. But the past few seasons, they've been saving these characters. And you're like, oh, that's weird. That character's still around? I mean, I love Braun.
I think they could die at any moment. They would do that.
Yeah.
I don't think so anymore. I think sorry to be Game of Thronesing here, you guys. We have a podcast called Hodorcast. If you want to check that out, it's pretty damn good. And now they're not part of the Feral Audio Network. Screw them. You can go and listen to this.
So what you're saying is the story is better served by not being fan servicey.
Yes.
And yet, as a fan, you're not satisfied with this show, so they must be doing something right.
As a fan, I love Star Trek.
He's kirking you.
No, I will not fall for this trap. I've seen too much Star Trek to know that's a trap. No.
Logic.
No, it's faulty logic because they're falling into this trap of trying to service this fan base instead of trying to tell the story they want to tell. Instead of telling the best story, the story which has the most emotional payoff. This had like a 6 out of 10 emotional payoff. the better story, because you have the smoking gun, which you never employed except midway through, where all of a sudden he becomes super evil in the mirror universe, where we're like, wait a minute, we're in the mirror universe and now you're Vok? Who cares, man? Like, there's bad guys everywhere, and now you're like, haha, I'm going to kill you and blah, 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 and like, I have no backup plan after that.
I'm going to attack myself.
I'm going to attack myself. Like, there was never a point in time where he came in total conflict with himself, and this was the perfect time, and they blew it. The end. I'm going to set off the charges. I have charges set in this podcast, and I'm going to blow up this podcast unless you like it. Do you understand me?
Unless you comment and subscribe.
Unless you comment on iTunes, I am going to blow up this podcast and you and your listening pleasure with it.
You dropped a bomb in the well of this podcast.
I put it deep in this conversation.
Coded to Mike's bioscan.
Coded to my bioscan. Yeah, so only I can do it. And now I'm going to pass off to Jason because that makes sense, right?
And then just walk away
and
for no reason.
Walk away.
We'll get to that later, I
Well,
guess.
yeah.
We're an hour into this podcast and only halfway through the episode.
All right, we got to wrap this up. We got to speed it up. All right, where do we go to next?
Much. Tattoo parlor.
No, I don't want to.
God, the tattoo parlor.
No, that's that. What is that? Who cares?
that's where,
3D tattoos
Burnham-
where you touch them and they appear.
That's where Burnham makes her realization that the Klingons, this is their home, and if we give the Federation targets to attack, it will never be the same. So she starts feeling compassion toward them.
Because why? I mean,
Just to continue that love story. No, Klingon never felt that way about you. You did.
Yeah. All right, so she has this kind of realization that the Klingons, they're just like us. No, they're not like us. They're not at all like us. They just want to kill us, except for Ash. So if we can, All right, so what next?
Straight from there to the sex room.
Yeah.
Littlefinger's brothel set. Giorgio in her leather bodice because she's dressed like a lowlife.
Yeah.
Where she pulls a weapon for some reason on these two nerdy
Whores.
naked people. Why do you have to pull a weapon?
Whores.
Where's the shrine of Malor?
No.
But you just asked him.
At least she got what she came for first.
I guess so. Yeah. She got service, and then I'm not going to pay it back. Give me this. Where's the Shrine of Malor? Yeah, it was such a weird thing. Again, we're writing this character so evilly. It's just like there's no subterfuge. There's no chance to have any sort of subtlety to it. It's just, I'm going to pull my gun on you. Anyway,
Back to Clint Howard.
Back to Clint Howard. So
Clint Howard has he's just about opened the case that we think is the drone, right? But it's actually a bomb.
It's actually a bomb. Yes. So
because Tilly, we talked about her getting high, but she's knocked out at this point because she's so high.
Yeah, which is, it's again a weird contrivance. He was like, guards, take her away. No, I'll take drugs. Oh, guards, let her take drugs. It's like,
that would have been much better. So much better.
Such a strange situation, like force you to take drugs after I'm inviting you to take drugs. The menace of Clint Howard. I was happy with that scene because Clint Howard.
Well, Clint Howard was great. He's
great.
He's ridiculous,
and Clint Howard, he was there 52 years ago as a kid, and he remembers that, and he doesn't give a shit about this. And he's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I got a job, and this is the only series of jobs I have which are not associated with my goddamn brother. Star Trek is the only connection I have where it's not like, hey, can I be in Apollo 13? Okay, cool, Well,
apparently now he's going to be one of those actors who is in both universes because he's going to be in Solo.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Yeah. There was a lot of talk that he, since Ron Howard took over, there wasn't going to be an opportunity for him to be in it. But I understand he's in it. So
that's fine. I mean, Clint Howard's okay in my book. He was the best Belloc ever.
Belosh.
Well, see, now we can trace it through from Clint Howard in Solo with Harrison Ford lookalike, all the way through to Belosh. Belloc. They called him Belosh. All right. So we have our Clint Howard's.
Yeah, this is how we learned that the volcanoes are not in fact extinct because she inhaled volcanic vapor.
Right.
And that's why a drone makes no sense because they'd burn up if it were a real volcano. So what's in here? Hydro bomb.
A hydro bomb.
And then Giorgio shows up and breaks Tilly's nose, apparently.
Yes.
Like, Jesus.
Like, oh my God. So she breaks her nose, but she's the captain. She can be like, I don't give a shit. I'm the captain. My order is that we're going to drop this bomb here because you know what? Starfleet said okay.
Yeah.
So you being all, upset about this, you are in error. This is a mutiny on your part. I don't know why she chose to punch out Tilly.
That was the only part of the episode I liked.
You are not of the Tilly. Yeah. I may be falling out of the Tilly too, but it's. I feel like I've been starved in this show, and so it's like maybe I do like Tilly. It's like you've been shown no colors, and then all of a sudden you see like an off shade of Orion green.
Orion green.
And oh, that's beautiful. I love that. No. So she breaks her nose, and then they find her. I don't know what. How do they find her? They just kind of
Then they explain what would happen to Kronos if that were actually detonated in their cave system.
Oh, that's right.
They would be vaporized, and Kronos would be uninhabitable.
And they show it. They're like, oh, here's the simulation, which is such a cheat.
Well, because the volcanic system is active, not dormant, as the outdated intelligence had suggested. So.
Right. Which they probably could have asked some, Federation lowlife, who it's pretty easy to get there, right? The Orions
depending on what kind of clothing they were wearing, the lowlifes.
I mean, the Orions don't give a shit. It's like, hey, Federation lowlife, just keep moving. That's all we care about. Just keep walking, keep healthy. Yeah. Where are we going? Yeah.
It's their interpretation of a Fitbit.
Yeah. Like here's another thing again. Here's the lack of is this the Prime Universe? I have so few beliefs this is the Prime Universe, and they showed this image of Kronos blowing up, and I would have been fine with that. Let's just do that.
With the simulation you're talking
about, because they start out they come back from the break,
right? And you think maybe it's actually happening, and then it's, no, it's. And hologram.
I wasn't upset. I was like, great, do that.
Something actually will happen.
Yes, finally, you're finally fulfilling a promise of something. But it's not. It's a simulation, and Sarah was like, oh, that's pretty bad, Well, yeah, good. Let's not do that. So
we have Admiral Cornwell, or as you called her last week, Cornhole.
Admiral Cornhole.
It's a hologram where Michael confronts her about what the hell. You're planning on genocide?
Yeah, she beams back to the Discovery, right? Isn't she? Because she's on there. She's like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Instead of looking for Giorgio, who's got her bombs, I need to get back to Discovery and do something and run a simulation.
Let's Saru and talk to
run a simulation.
Let's run a simulation. What would happen if this bomb was...
Ariam, get on that.
Plug in your voice. Aye, Captain. Aye, presumptive Captain. All right, so then
we have the little foreshadowing of the big dramatic speech at the very end where she says, we don't have the luxury, or Cornhole says, we don't have the luxury of principle. That's all we have.
Half Admiral.
Oh, God.
So first, she threatens mutiny.
She threatens mutiny again.
Except this time everybody stands with her. Fulfilling what happened in episode 1. Except not.
Yes, because
nobody learned any lessons throughout the entire season.
Yeah, no one stood with her the first time, I guess. Right? I mean, no one had a chance to stand with her. Although I guess they did fire the phasers. They did fire, they did.
In episode 1 you're talking about.
So no matter what, at the beginning she galvanized the crew to do whatever she wanted. At the end, she galvanized the crew. I don't know how they got a subspace hologram message to Kronos 1 if they can't scan. The cave.
Oh, interesting.
But they can get a holographic projection of Admiral Cornhole in there. It's like we'll just look past that. So she makes an entire about face after this. What was the discussion? Should we just go ahead and blow up Kronos? Yes. Oh no, we shouldn't because this
that's not us.
This disgrace.
We are Starfleet.
I'm sorry to go back to last week because I wasn't here, but I just wanted to add, and I'm very glad you brought it up, that Cornhole's whole speech about Lorca, like, oh well, clearly, given everything that you've told us about that universe, my Lorca must be dead. Okay, moving on. Like, I rewound like 7 times because I couldn't figure out why on earth she's just dismissive of the. He can't be out there. He's dead. Well, I guess we'll just. Yeah,
I know.
Oh yeah, shot the fortune cookies.
It is such a. I mean, in some ways, maybe this is the new way of storytelling, where you just drop all these breadcrumbs and then you're never going to pick them.
Don't do anything with it.
You don't do anything about it. It's just like, okay, let's just go and I guess our friend Nick Corosi. I don't know.
He works every day with him. Doesn't know his last name.
I still have not figured out his name. If he hears this, I still know his name. I still have.
I believe it's Corosi.
Corosi, probably. Yeah. Probably. I'll try and get some confirmation on that.
Only there were a way to.
But I was talking to him the other day when we were like hanging out, and he said he watched the 15-17 to Paris or something like that.
The new Clint Eastwood movie.
And he said like there's like whole sections where they're in Paris and like, hey man, I'm like, let's go off and do that thing. Oh no, let's go do that thing. Where like they just hang out and they do like nothing, and like there's like when they're like in the train, like, oh man, I'm so hungry. Let's go get something to eat in the food car, and they go there and they're like, I'll just have a soda, and like all these weird like. But like,
well, the whole premise with that movie, right? That the people who are in the movie, it's the real people.
So it's the real story.
I saw Clint Eastwood with them all on Jimmy Kimmel the other night. It was kind of entertaining to see them all, but at the same time, it's like, what a bizarre idea. I mean, and not that it hasn't been done before, it has. But the whole incident probably took place in the matter of like 2 minutes or something like that.
2 minutes. Yeah.
So you're trying to fill a 2-hour movie with. I mean, you could give their entire backstories or something like that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like most of it's just around the train trip.
Like they travel through Europe, and Nick says it's this most boring thing, but it's so fascinating because they just like they do stuff that has no import on anything.
Yeah,
they go on little side trips and they go check out like the Vatican, and then they decide not to, and it's like it has no import. So maybe this is 21st century storytelling. Maybe we're just going to tease.
Because if there's one person who understands 21st century storytelling, it's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
he's talking to a chair.
Yes, well,
alive 21st century.
Maybe that is because it didn't pay off. I mean, like there was never anyone in that chair. I mean, no one ever materialized. I mean, but there are but to get back to it, there are so many times here in this show, like the Lorca thing, that should have led to a Lorca reveal. Like, oh, we're going to Vulcan to pick up our new captain. Boom! It's Prime Universe Lorca.
Yeah, well, it seems like exactly there should be some sort of payoff if they're going to say, oh well, I guess he's dead.
Yeah. You can't like, oh yeah, he's such a good person in the mirror universe. There's no way he could have survived.
And you can just see it next season as like a previously on, and like, he must be dead. Oh God.
Well, it's such a They should have put him in this season. He should have come back because, honestly, I would say 10 out of the 15 episodes were about him. We're really circling around, is he good? Is he evil? Who is he? What's his backstory?
Yeah, maybe one of the things I'm most curious about after watching this entire season is what is this Prime Universe Lorca like? We have no idea.
Mm-hmm. I would love to figure that out because maybe he's a good guy. Because, I mean, Admiral Cornhole, she loved him. I mean, she was like, man, he's a great guy. I had sex with him. And,
he's a great guy, and I had sex with him.
And I had sex with him. Both things can be true. So neither can be true, or one or the other can be true. So.
Although one penis, that's kind of a drawback. So it's not like a flute.
I will say that. She was a Klingon prisoner for a while. So
well, you're right.
Maybe it wasn't a drawback.
She could have got used to.
Oh my God, so bad. All right. Anyway, so let's finish this up. So. They go back. They find Giorgio just hanging around in this well, like getting ready to press the button. I don't know what the hell she's like. What's your plan? I'm just gonna sit here and press the button or not press the button. Like if she's obviously betrayed.
What was she waiting for?
Yeah, like get back on the Discovery. Yeah, it's a weird set piecey kind of thing where it's like, haha, I'm by this well like I was, in the first episode, and haha, we all get that, right? That's important. No, it's not important. But so she's gonna blow it up, and then Burnham shows up,
stops her.
Yes,
and she invites her to join me. We will rule over the Federation and the Klingons Empire.
Yes.
No, you're gonna have to kill me to get past me.
We'll rule the
she
galaxy
caves.
together. I know, it's a very Star Wars.
Like mother and daughter.
Yeah.
And she completely caves in. It's like, oh, come on.
I know,
Where's
Georgia.
this evil,
She's like,
ruthless
okay.
emperor.
Oh, well, you gave me this weird commemorative coin here that has a hologram on it.
It's from the Franklin Mint.
From the Franklin Mint. Oh, look at that. It's shiny. And since I'm from a universe which is completely like everyone always lies, I'm going to believe you, sure. And then she just kind of like walks away, I guess.
Yeah, that was very frustrating.
Like, can you give me a lift? Can you get me out of here? Where's Clint Howard? How do I, like, hey, sex slaves, remember when I pointed that gun at you? Just kidding. Do you have a ship? Can I get it?
Maybe this whole series would have been better if we had some of those drugs that Clint Howard had.
Oh, my God. Maybe we were all on those drugs. I mean, maybe this is all just like a fever dream or something from volcanic ash highs, I mean, my God. So she just walks away, and then like hiding in another cave.
Before Laurel pops in.
Well, yeah. So Laurel pops in, like hiding
Gets
in
her pep talk.
In an adjacent cave, like just here. You stay here. You stay here with like Ash Vok and I. Well, Ash, boy, what a great name. He's in with the Ash. So then,
do you think that was something they planted early on, for the volcano?
1,000% positive. Yes. So they're like, okay, I'm decoding this from your biometrics and recoding it for this Klingon to give to her. And here's where the whole
to preserve your civilization.
How?
And then be good, Philippa. What? Be good.
It's like 1950s Leave It to Beaver, admonishment. Be good.
Or maybe it was a reference to E.T.
Be good. Yeah. So she just wanders off, and then Laurel's like, okay, and then Vox Ash is like, I gotta go with her. Like, why? Because.
Yeah,
like why
did just walk away from Starfleet like that? Isn't he still a member of Starfleet?
Yeah, I mean, like if it didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like
I'm going with her.
Yeah,
here's my little knot. Hang on.
Here's my knot. I love you.
So clearly, we know Georgiou's coming back next season, right?
Well, she's primed to.
Yeah.
I mean,
if she walks off into the sunset, she's probably coming back.
Yes, if someone doesn't
take
die,
over a continent and Kronos.
Right.
It's fine. I mean, at least
because she is like a dominant force in this universe because hers is so much tougher. So she's going to take over something, and they're going to have some sort of confrontation next season at some point.
Which is fine because at least she pushes people into doing interesting things.
Yeah,
like I'm fine with that. But then we get to this ridiculous, terrible scene where they're in the crazy caves and Laurel's like, I have this, iPhone 10 in my hand, and I will blow up everything unless you all submit.
Oh, yeah. That's where it really started to crumble for me.
That's where it started to crumble? No.
Really bad. Really
okay,
bad.
yes.
The Klingon Convention Center, Mount Doom. Tacoma believed that war with the Federation was the only way to unite us. We've lost our way. We need a new leader. I have an iPad.
I have an iPad.
One of those things that waiters order with without writing it down.
And I am prepared to use it unless you shoot me right now, thus killing me and the ability to blow it up because it is biometrically keyed to me and me only. Okay, fair enough.
Immediately back down.
Yes, they're at Earth. Like there's like 15 Klingon ships at Earth, radio attack. Like, can't we just shoot them a little bit?
Blow up Nova Scotia or something.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia,
like fake Nova Scotia. Yeah, planet Nova Scotia is going to be ravaged. But yeah, so everyone turns around and it's all over. The entire war is over.
Yes.
We never really saw it.
Begins now.
Yeah, we never saw it.
Ships veer away from Earth. Yes.
Yeah. They go away, and then everything's great. Like the Federation's fine, and everyone gets medals for this.
We zoom in on a hideous Paris, all overbuilt and horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't mention that Ash Tyler gives her the Bolin knot.
Oh yeah. I
that's
can't
the big
stay
payoff.
Here. Well, I can't. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Sorry. Well, yeah. The big metaphor of the entire season.
Yeah.
we are tethered together. We are one. How are you? What is the tether between the two of you? I never understood that. So I mean, is it we're outcast? We're two different types. I guess, but anyway. Okay, so so we
have Amanda at Federation headquarters and Sarek.
Right.
Yes, Amanda.
Kind of a little cheesy, where he's like, what the Federation chose to do on Kronos was unprincipled, and I had a part in it. End of discussion. That's the last we hear.
Yeah, and he will never ever advocate anything like that again. And it's just such a weird, like the fact that Sarek would sign off on genocide of a species.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he's going to have to be okay with it because, you know, his species in turn had that happen to him. You know, I mean, by Nero in the future in the Kelvin timeline. So I guess that's okay. I mean, turnabout intruder. But yeah, so it's a horrible turn for Sarek, and we all have to be okay with the fact that as we see Sarek moving forward in all these instances, he was totally okay with killing billions. Mm-hmm. Because the needs of the few outweighed the needs of the many, or I guess the needs of the tens of billions outweighed the needs of the like single-digit billions. Right?
Yes. But that's
although I have to say,
her back her pin.
I do. I love the actor who plays him. I think he's great.
Oh, he's great. And he can sell that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the writing is.
But let's be honest that in 25 years, Kronos its moon's going to explode.
Yeah.
And his son is going to broker a peace deal. And everyone except for a couple of admirals are going to be okay with this. I mean, like I know every admiral wants to blow up Kronos. I get that, but most of the Federation is like, okay, well let's be okay with this.
Especially Cornhole.
Especially Cornhole. Yeah, she's probably still alive. You know, when Kronos' moon blows up, she's like, oh, we had a chance to blow up the whole planet, and now we're dicking around with this moon. Yeah. And now their atmosphere is going to be poisoned. I think that's what it was in Star Trek 6, isn't it? Like their atmosphere is going to be the atmosphere is already poisoned, guys. I got to be honest with you. I mean, like if you can't scan it, it's poison. All right. So anyway, so they get the kind of the throne room ceremony, you know, the Star Wars celebration. Yes. Everyone gets a medal.
Yes.
Everyone gets a participation medal for making it to the end of the season. All is forgiven, Michael Burnham. You started this war, but you ended it too. So, good job.
And laid it on very thick with all the Federation stuff. We won't take shortcuts. We won't break rules that protect us. We won't allow desperation to destroy our moral authority. I'm guilty of all those things, but...
Why is she giving this speech? I don't understand. It's like, all right, so here is disgraced Starfleet Commander Michael Burnham to give a speech about morality and morals and ethics. Let's all listen to it and then applaud afterwards, all right? I mean, we are all accountable for this. You are all terrible people, and... I started this war. I disobeyed my captains, plural.
I nerve-pinched Captain Giorgio.
I nerve-pinched Giorgio. I disobeyed Lorca. I disobeyed Saru. I disobeyed Empress Giorgio, Captain. But
had no less than 3 mutinies.
Putting that aside, I have come around. And now you should all feel really bad that you considered attacking the enemy and trying to win the war. Shame on you. Shame on you for trying to win the war. Okay. You may now applaud. Anyway, all right. End of my speech.
Okay. Heading back to Vulcan. Sarek's on the bridge. Thank you for allowing me this indulgence. Not jumping there, because Starfleet wants to find a non-human interface with the spore drive. And what happens along the way? Priority 1 distress call.
No. All right, so here's the problem with this. So
okay.
So
talking about Captain Pike.
Well, yeah, the Enterprise and Captain Pike. So first of all, that's not the original Enterprise. It's people go, oh, they're going to retrofit it. They're going to make it look worse. I mean, What if we take all this cool stuff off it and make it like a really bad looking ship, like not as good as it looks right now, which is really
You
cool.
have to have a little bit of work for those, paint robots to
I know.
do their magic.
To USS to ISS, back to USS, where like Apple product world woman. Maybe that's why she has two voices: one to talk to the robots, and one to talk to people. She's like
those robots are like the Banksy of the mirror universe.
Yeah, they're just like. So here's my problem with that. Everyone, it's this. We have this, it's the Lost problem. It's the TV show Lost. It's the Marvel Universe problem where there's a tag at the end where everything you've seen suddenly becomes completely invalidated by something that's really cool that's promised coming up. The entire season, the entire show of Discovery has now been invalidated by the fact that something cooler is in front of you, which is the Starship Enterprise. Nothing that happened this season is of any import because now the real show begins. Now we're going to the big boys, to Captain Pike and Spock and all those people. It's fine. And as I was parsing through Reddit, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's the Enterprise! It's so cool!" And it was a great smokescreen. Everyone's like, "Oh, it was a terrible episode," but that last scene was so great. No, it wasn't. Discovery needs to be separate from this because otherwise, now it's like, well, this is just a prologue. This is just like setting up for something better. This is like Rogue One, where it's like, well, okay, you got a great story come up, and this is what led up to the great story. But this isn't the best story. This is just an okay story. It should be its own story. We should never, maybe in season 5 we should run into the Enterprise, but not season 1.
Yeah.
Well, it was certainly unexpected, I think. And maybe that's what they were going for.
I guess. I mean, it was such a rabbit out of the hat, like Hail Mary. Like, I was hoping it would be Lorca. If Lorca shows up, it's like, okay, I'm good. Great. Now we're on track. Let's go tell some good stories. Let's be episodic. That's great. Instead, they cheese out and they throw the last possible thing they can come up with is Captain Pike on the USS Enterprise and maybe Spock. So, I don't know. Kim, what did you think of it?
Yeah, just thoroughly confused. Don't stop mining the old series and stop mining the movies. Come up with your own stuff. Stop relying on all these things that longtime fans are going to be like,
Wow.
It's such. I know.
Okay. Come up with your own stuff.
Come up with your own stuff.
Quote, Kim Miller.
That's
2018. Come up with your own stuff.
Yeah, I want to see Lorca again.
Well, if the show's called Discovery and the last image we have of the first season is something that we've already seen, then the show is not about Discovery. The show is about fan service and, remember this? Remember the Enterprise? It's right there. We've discovered nothing. All we've discovered is that this show is subservient to another show, is that it's feeding into something which is greater. So...
When's the next season supposed to start?
Who cares? The next season is supposed to start in 2019, from what I understand, which will give us a full year to recover, to think about it, for me to make an entire 180-degree turn, and to love the show, so that you'll all be like, "Ha-ha, I told you, Mike." And for us to get a whole season under our belt of not talking about Discovery, of talking about stuff like the old series, about who knows what. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You're so exhausted.
I am so exhausted.
Your love of Star Trek.
Well, it has broadsided me in a way I didn't expect. That, I mean, my love for Star Trek. I mean, on the positive side, I'm actually looking forward to watching more Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise. I'm like, oh gosh, I mean, at least this is, falling more into canon, and I'm like trying to. At least there are people who are trying to do good things and trying to maintain a sense of a code of ethics and a code of honor, which is beholden to the Federation. And this is even before the Federation was created. So Michael Burnham is espousing all these things about like the Federation this, Federation that. We've already been down that long road, and they invoked Jonathan Archer, who created the Federation. So everyone in Star Trek by now should know better. Everyone in Star Trek should either not be okay with blowing up, Kronos, or be okay with it, but not have Michael Burnham lecture him about it. So, and Saru should be captain.
Yes.
Yeah, Saru should be captain.
How old Spock is supposed to be at the end of this season?
Is he gonna be like 10?
Is he a teenager? Is he a child? I don't know.
Well, he was on board Pike's ship. So if we're 10 years in the past, he was on board Pike's ship, and it's between, obviously, I don't remember when the cage is supposed to take place, the menagerie, which is when we see him and Pike. Like best case scenario, what are you watching, Kim? Are you watching something else?
I'm looking at you.
Oh, okay.
I heard a little side of my screen.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I heard a little.
She has her own projector. She's watching Star Trek 3.
I'm not.
For a minute there, I thought you were watching.
There's a Star Trek 3.
Oh my gosh. What was I even saying? I don't remember what I was saying. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. I'm starting to fall off of the plane here. We need to slow the ship down. All right. Do we have any final thoughts about this season? Should we have a wrap up of the season?
No, it's nearly destroyed you. So sad.
It has. It's so sad. And I mean, and again, like maybe I should be like decommissioned. Maybe I should be like put out to like. I mean, I've done my part for King and Country. I mean, Captain Dunstall in Star Trek 6, and I should be, hauled off as garbage. It's because I don't get this. I don't get this show, and maybe other people get. Maybe they need to carry the banner now. And yet, as I'm saying that, my son, my 13-year-old son, is adoring The Next Generation, and he loves everything about it. And he's watched almost all the episodes, and he's watched Generations and First Contact and Nemesis, and he has opinions on. He's starting to watch Deep Space Nine, and he gets it. And so those shows are good, and those shows have merit. And so I need to defend those. I need to say, no, if you're watching Discovery and you're coming in on this, there's better. We can do better. This show can do better. And people say, oh, it's the first season. But there's been 6 first season shows. Be better. You can be better, Star Trek Discovery. Make it a point to be better. Look at the script. Read it a couple of times. Figure out if that makes sense. If it doesn't, rewrite it. Try again. We'll wait. Make the best show. You have so much money. You have great actors.
I think you kind of hit part of it right on the head, didn't you? Because
yes, I did.
No, I mean about when you're talking about rewriting it and actually doing it until it's right. That was never a possibility with this show because the entire show was molded around launching, or at least bringing subscribers to CBS All Access, right? I mean, this show could have taken 5 more years to put together, but they rushed it out in such a haphazard fashion because it was important for them to have a flagship show that was only on their streaming service and not on the network, and they wanted to have it. I mean, we're seeing the same thing happen with Disney now with their streaming network, where they go, we're going to have 5 Star Wars shows, and I'm like, well, geez, I don't know how many of those are going to be good either because there's going to be a mad rush to make these things happen so they can launch their service. So maybe season 2 they'll have more time and actually think, consider some of these things, and it'll be better. Who knows?
It's possible, and certainly they're going to have. They will get. Now, there's a difference between watching the shows and getting data points.
See either of you.
Oh gosh. And I should add, I read an article today about there's a company called Parrot Analytics that measures online conversation and downloads and things like that. I don't know if you saw the same thing.
Yeah.
And Star Trek Discovery is like off the charts. Yeah. It's bigger than The Walking Dead in terms of people talking about it online and illegal downloads and everything that they measure.
Right.
So the show's popularity is kind of unquestioned at this point. It's just a matter of, can they make a better show?
Exactly. Yeah. Can you make a better show? I mean, and they did have a lot of time, and they delayed the show it was supposed to come out in 2016. It was supposed to come out for the 50th anniversary, and then they delayed it, until 2017, and then late 2017. You know, and so they did have an extra year and a half to figure this out.
Yeah. But at the same time, we followed all those news stories, and people were getting fired left and right, including Fuller, and they changed direction so many times that who knows when they actually got started on that thing.
This is true, but I mean, at the core, and maybe it was like, this is your script, you have to roll with it, but I still feel like I never saw a story that was about a character that I could relate to. There was I guess in that article, this, and I'll put this Entertainment Weekly article up that I really enjoy. There was the only episode that was really good, and we talked about it last week, it wasn't good, but the story I could track was the one with Mud, where they're going over and over again in time. It's a confined story. It's one story, and it has a beginning, middle, and end. And that character has an arc, and we see the beginning, middle, and end of him. That's great. Everyone else is suspended, being pulled along by these insane plots. And every once in a while, you stop to kind of talk about their characters, but we don't ever show enough about them. So
yeah. Not to try and high road you, but at the same time, maybe the main character of the show isn't somebody that you're supposed to necessarily relate to as, an older white guy, because it's a young black woman who's the lead of the show.
But that shouldn't matter.
I didn't say older. I didn't want to say middle-aged or midlife crisis.
He prefers decrepit.
Yeah, decrepit. Yeah. But no, my point is that it is it is pointing to a different generation and to minorities who saw themselves in Nichelle Nichols maybe in the first series, but she was not the lead of the show.
But that's, I mean, you can't say that about Star Trek. I mean, like, Star Trek should be above all that. I mean, like, yes, you're right. I mean, on some hands. But I
guess to what you're saying, if it was written better, it wouldn't matter, and you could still relate to her because but she makes ridiculous decisions throughout this entire series. So.
Exactly. I mean, like, her character was the most mysteriously written, the most fundamentally flawed character, and all she had was this pained look on her face all the time. I mean, oddly enough, Saru, who is the most alien, had the best arc and the most. And maybe Tilly in some ways. I mean, like, these characters grew into their stories more than anyone else. So, I mean, maybe they were so focused on Burnham, Burnham, that they lost sight of the forest through the woods, through the trees, and so there was nothing satisfying about it from a writing standpoint for me. So anyway, that's
Well, I agree with you,
but it is not that Vulcan upbringing. I think didn't come up strongly throughout the season.
Yeah, did that ever really
more than it would? I thought it would be a bigger factor.
It never really came back much at all.
No, like there was one episode where it did, and then it's gone. And then we have tardigrades, and then they're gone. And then we have Mirror Universe, and then it's gone. Then we have Klingon fights, and then it's gone. I mean, it's just everything.
I'm really disappointed that tardigrades didn't come back a lot more. I wanted the tardigrade to become, a main character on the show.
He was for a while. Remember, like he's like in Lorca's ready room, just sitting in there. I mean, and this was what we were focusing on for like 3 or 4 episodes.
Timmy the tardigrade.
The tardigrade, and then ultimately it wasn't about the tardigrades. It was about like the mushroom spores.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, wait,
the mycelial network.
The mycelial network run by little water bears. And then we're looking for a non-human solution. Is that what they said?
Non-human.
That's what they're working on.
Well, how about the tardigrade? Like you had before. Hook that guy back up, man. You know where he is. He's just a little dude, Go grab him.
A little giant tardigrade. Yeah.
You mean Ripper?
Ripper, yeah. Oh, that's right. His name was Ripper.
There's so many weird things that happen at the beginning of the series that it's hard to keep track of them all.
Yes.
I think back to that. I'm like, oh yeah, there was a giant tardigrade.
There was a giant tardigrade.
But it had nipple clamps and was plugged into the thing.
Yes.
And was also, eating holes in ships and killing people.
He killed a bunch of people, and then we felt sorry for him because we were doing something.
Because he was in a cage, and
yeah. So.
Yeah. So.
Kim saying, "Sit closer together." No, we will not.
We're not doing this for the one person that's watching this video.
No one's watching
this. The whole time.
Zero people.
Instead, we're going to end this podcast.
Wait for me.
No, we don't do things just for us anymore. We do it for a larger purpose, Kim.
You guys.
For all of the Starburns Audio Network.
For the soon-to-be joining Starburns Audio Network. I haven't heard from them again, but he's like, yeah, sure.
Hey, but the CBS All Access still pans out, so.
Hey, we got through it. I mean, we got, watched a lot of commercials about Shantix.
Cialis.
Oh man, that's probably the biggest. At least that was the most consistent thing about it.
Honestly, I think we got more out of those commercials than we did the series at sometimes.
Oh God, yeah.
That Tomorrow commercial.
Yeah,
that poor guy can't do anything until tomorrow.
Yeah, Grandpa, will you climb the stairs? I'll do it tomorrow. Really? Oh my God, what a horrible drug. I mean,
And even after he's cured, he still says, "How about tomorrow?" Like,
I know.
What the hell's wrong with you?
He takes the.
You were supposed to feel better today, not tomorrow.
I know. It's like this is the. It is actually the discovery drug. Well, next season is going to be good. Just wait till next season.
Did you see that Big Screen has improved their service now, so you can have more people in a room? We should get some of our listener viewers to watch a couple episodes of Star Trek with us at some time point.
On Oculus Rift.
Rift, yeah, or Vive if you have a Vive, or I think there's some other system that works with it too.
That's true. That's true. All right, I'm yawning here. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for checking out this season of Discovery with us. Of discovering this. So bad. And we will be returning to our regularly scheduled programs after this.
After we take a long nap.
Take a long nap.
Thought of the finale. I want to hear what other people thought too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is true. Yeah, go to the Facebook page and just tell us what you thought about the finale. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. But
we're full of crap. You think we're full of crap?
Well,
we should just lighten up and get with it and appreciate the young people.
Yes, like young people who don't appreciate story. Yeah, go ahead. But see, I write for those young people. For Hot Streets and for Big City Greens on Disney Channel, and for Vault the Wonder Deer.
Vault the Wonder Deer.
Yeah, watch Vault the Wonder Deer. Is
there some sort of date on that? When's that coming out?
Never. I don't know. It's playing in China. You watch it in China. So
excellent.
All right. So forgetting all that, thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Facebook page. I'm Mike McCafferty.
I'm Kim Miller.
And I'm Jason McCarris.
And I just want to talk about
Star Trek.
You're so amused by that, Kim. My God.
Bella Oxmix.